Hi, this is Mark at learnhowtogarden.com. In today's episode of the 10-Minute Gardener, we're going to be talking about the most popular greenhouse vegetable that we grow. We call it a vegetable, but actually it's a fruit, and it's the tomato. It's one that the majority of us love. It's the one that more of us like to grow. I think it's one of those things, picking your own tomatoes is just such a brilliant thing you can do. So what we're going to cover in today's episode is why we should grow our own, why they're so much tastier when you grow your own, even if they have the same name as the ones that you buy in your supermarket, the varieties that I've found over the years work best for me, where to get seeds and plants of tomatoes, and we're going to cover in this episode sowing them, getting them in the propagator, and we're going to talk a bit about how we're going to grow one. These are some tomatoes that I picked up today from our local supermarket. There's a much bigger variety than there ever used to be, but still not very good. This is what we call a plum tomato. Plum tomato is the shape. They tend to be long and thin. They've got less water in them, thicker walls. They tend to be brilliant for making tomato sauces. They're great in cooking. They're the backbone of most of your tomato cooking. This is an Italian variety, the classic Italian variety most people would say, San Marzano. I don't grow this one, I grow a different plum, but it is quite tasty. This is a fairly recent addition to what we've seen. This is a yellow, this is a yellow or orange tomato. Again, can be quite sweet, quite nice taste. This is what's called a mini plum. As you can see, it's quite small. You're better off trying to stick to the yellow or orange varieties if you have arthritis. The red ones can sort of play up a bit more with your arthritis. And then this is what most of us would class as the classic cherry tomato. Small, quite tiny compared to a lot that we used to know as children and grow. And on the vine. I think on the vine is one of those classic things that we all buy these thinking they'll taste better because they're on the vine. In fact, the main reason for selling them to you and I on the vine is that you could pick these 6 tomatoes in one go commercially, whereas you'd have to pick 6 of these individually or 6 of these individually. Therefore, it's a cost issue. It's much cheaper to pick them on the vine and package them. I think we have to understand that there are probably 10,000 varieties of tomatoes available. They come and go every year. Most of the breeding in tomatoes is to satisfy commercial needs, and the first of these commercial needs is that tomatoes will ripen evenly, so they all look red or orange at the same time in the shops. They will have been bred with thicker and thicker skins, and that's so that they don't split in transport, they don't damage on the shelves, they're a bit roughy-toughier, for want of a better word. Again, we don't want thick skins particularly when we're growing them, because we're more concerned with taste. We want the whole, commercially, we want all of the vine to ripen at once so we can pick it as a vine. When we are growing them in our greenhouses or outside, we can afford to pick one off each plant as we go along. So if we go back to the original concept of the 10-minute gardener, taste is the main thing. I wouldn't personally grow any of these tomatoes purely for taste. I think there are much, much better varieties out there that we could grow, and I think tomatoes are one of those things where you are without doubt much better off sourcing them from a specialist.